Hello friends, my name's TheRealEmile. The Huracan was Lamborghini's replacement to the aging Gallardo, a tough act to follow. The Gallardo was Lamborghini's best-selling model and is well regarded as one of the best supercars ever. On the stat sheet, the Huracan definitely lives up. The Huracan is equipped with a reworked version of Audi's 5.2 litre V10 engine, which now produces 600 horsepower. The power runs through a 7-speed double-clutch gearbox, and thanks to a 4-wheel drive system, the Huracan reaches 60 miles an hour in just 2.5 seconds, almost the same as the Veyron that broke the production car speed record. The Huracan then proceeds to rush to a top speed of 202 miles an hour. So as you can see, the Huracan on paper is superb, but how about on the track? Well, as you would expect, the Huracan has excellent launch and acceleration off the line. This car just blows you away with how quick it is, and out of the corners it certainly isn't a slouch, but we knew that already. So let's move on to the cornering. 4-wheel drive systems can create understeer. This is when you turn into a corner, but the car feels like it is pushing on. The Huracan does indeed suffer from understeer, however thankfully it is minimal, and only happens when you put the power on. This means the Huracan is very easy to drive fast and consistently. It's also nice to drive, however it has to be said that it isn't hugely exciting to drive, and that is where the Huracan's rivals come in. Here is one of those rivals. This is the McLaren 650S, and it is the follow-up to the fantastic 12C, and is set to improve upon that car's foundations. While sure it looks just like a facelifted 12C, it does get some inspiration from the P1 hypercar, as well as getting some of its technology from that car. The 650S is powered by the same 3.8 litre twin-turbo V8 engine from the 12C, however it now produces 641 horsepower, and power goes to the rear wheels. The 650S can accelerate from 0 to 60 miles an hour in 2.9 seconds, and goes on to a top speed of 207 miles an hour. With these figures, it's not surprising that some consider the 650S to blur the lines between supercar and hypercar. On a track, and similar to the Huracan, the 650S leaps off the line. While sure not as fast a launching as the Huracan, the 650S does accelerate faster, giving the car an advantage on the straights compared to the Huracan. When the straight ends and the corner pops up, the 650S gets stopped better than the Huracan, and then takes the corners well with its good handling, and as an added bonus, thanks to its rear drive configuration, understeer is non-existent in the 650S. At the end of it all, the Huracan is easier to drive, however the McLaren seems faster and is much more exciting to drive. However, which car will come out on top at our track? Okay, here we are at our track, and the Huracan gets an extremely quick launch off the line. This car truly is mind-bending when it comes to launching off the line. Breaking into the first corner, will we see any understeer from the Huracan from this lap? Let's find out. Well, judging by the first corner, no we won't. That was a fairly clean and tidy corner from the Huracan. Breaking into the second corner again, will we see that understeer play a part? Ooh, it has, and he's knocked over some cones. Don't worry about them, we replace them all the time. Coming down the straight, we're doing about 130 miles an hour in here, braking into Hammerhead. The brakes are pretty good on the Huracan. Now will we see any understeer through Hammerhead? Nope, none at all, other than a bit of smoke through there. Fairly dramaless from the Huracan. As you can see, it is ridiculously quick. Now we are going to have to brake into Hammerhead, taking this corner at about 100 miles an hour through there, and accelerating quickly out through the tyres. This would have been doing about 120 miles an hour, and on this straight I'm thinking about 135 miles an hour through there, clipping the apex of the second to last corner. And coming around the last corner now, will we see any action from the Huracan? Yes we will. It's gone for a bit of a fly and across the line. Next up we have the 650S. Now of course this is only 2-wheel drive, which means those back wheels were scampering for traction. However, as soon as they find it, the 650S shoots forward. This once again is a mind-bendingly fast car. Found the first corner and, well, bit on the grass there. However, not too much to worry about. Ooh, but we have got some smoke through the second corner. I do have to admit this car was much more floaty at this track compared to what it was at Monza. It was not as nice to drive. as it was at Monza. Braking into Hammerhead, doing about 130 down there, but the fantastic brakes get it stopped relatively quickly. Through Hammerhead again, more smoke coming from the 650S. All this car wants to do is spin and slide. However, we're back on a straight, which means we have huge amounts of speed. Braking down here, now you did have to take Hammerhead carefully, but if you got it right, you could get some serious speed through that corner. Coming out of tyres, that is extremely fast. Coming down the straight, this car was doing about 140 miles an hour, which is about the same as the Hennessy Venom from Season 2 was getting down there, so this car is extremely quick. Braking into the last corner, will we see any flying action from the 650S? Nope, and across the line. So the 650S was faster with a 114.257, beating the Huracan by 0.25 milliseconds. However, what is kind of surprising is the Viper ACR was only 0.100 of a second off of the Huracan, which is very good considering that Viper costs 3 times less than the Huracan. So out of these two, which one would I pick? Well, as much as the Huracan is a fantastic car to drive, this really is great, it is a bit boring and it doesn't quite have the Lamborghini looks. The 650S is a much more entertaining car to drive, and to be honest with you, that's the one I would have. However, I wouldn't recommend either of these two cars by the looks of it, as the Viper ACR is the ultimate track machine. Anyways, I want to thank you all very much for watching this review. Tell me down below in the comments which one you would rather have, Huracan or 650S. And join me for my next review. Not sure what we're going to be reviewing, but join me for it anyway. Anyways, I want to thank you all very much for watching. My name's been TheRealEmile. Until next time, farewell.